Hello, Ultimechs fans. Welcome to the last match of this 1v1 tournament season. I am pleased to bring you youdeadno versus Pluto in the spot for number 1 and number 2 in this long-running tournament. As you are aware, I am going to be hosting this game. Right now, players are getting into their respective spots. I'm going to bring you right into round number 1 momentarily. youdeadno is hosting first, based on the tournament rules, and Pluto is going to have a little tiny bit of a ping issue. So we shall see how this goes. Unlike previous matches, this is going to be a best of 7. So one of these players needs to win 4 matches to claim the title. There is a 3-part prize pool, I believe, in this tournament. So the big prize will go to the winner of this match. The next big prize will go to the loser of this match. And Koyan has already secured his spot as spot number 3, third place. We want to thank XRL for hosting the tournament. This has been about 10 grueling weeks of fights and activity. You can get more information from XRL at their website, xrl.pro. And of course, a huge shout out to Resolution Games for producing Ultimechs for these last 2.5 years that we have been really enjoying playing it and watching others play, learning how the game works, improving upon our own abilities, working as a team in 2v2 and 3v3 games, fighting those inhuman bots, doing all the things that gamers do. I see players have just now gotten onto their teams. We're going to have Pluto on blue and youdeadno on red. Players are about to ready up for round number 1. This is a 4-minute small arena competitive mode game. You can see the timer at the top of the screen. You can see that youdeadno has chosen to play as a Nitro. Pluto looks like is choosing to play as a Viper, but still has a few seconds to change his mind. You can see the status of both of their armors, full bars, and their fists. Yep, Pluto is a Viper.
3, 2, 1.
And let's start watching the ball. Pluto with first touch on the ball. Quick peek at the pings here. Pluto with 138 and youdeadno with 27.
3, 2, 1, go.
youdeadno with first touch. The Nitro player is the most balanced player of the 3 mechs you can choose. It has a medium power per hit and a medium speed of its jets. The Viper has faster jets, but they're smaller and more difficult to use to hit the ball, and they hit with less power. The Titan, which we probably won't see in this game, has the slowest jets, but the most amount of power. Choosing which mech you're going to play with, and then getting good at that mech's abilities while understanding your opponent's abilities is crucial to playing this game well. youdeadno has picked up that golden supercharge off the floor. That allows him to explode his fist, and the shockwave will send the ball moving in the opposite direction. It can also be used to reduce his opponent's armor. If an armor is reduced to 0, then that mech explodes. There goes youdeadno with a spectacular 2-point super goal, making the score 3-0 in the first minute and 15 seconds of this 4-minute round. Make that 4-0.
3, 2, 1.
youdeadno absolutely crushing right now, but there's plenty of time left. In a fast-paced game like this, every few seconds counts. And a good player can make up these points without any problem. 5-point difference? No big deal. That's just 2 super goals and 1 regular. If you hadn't figured out by now, regular goals are the wide ones, the bottom of the back wall. Those are worth 1 point. The super goal is the smaller goal, upper of the back wall, worth 2 points. Well, 6-0 lead is now becoming a little bit of a problem for Pluto. 8-0 lead is becoming even more of a problem for Pluto, who looks like he cannot get it. He's got a 257 ping. Pluto's game is unplayable at this point. With 257 ping, Pluto isn't even seeing the ball in the arena.
3, 2.
If these players are communicating in game, which they might be, but we can't hear it, they might be asking to rematch this round. All right, 12-0. That is mercy. This round is over.
3.
There's a mercy rule here. And so it should be in effect.
Team red wins.
Certainly is. All right, so that was kind of ridiculous. And yet, we'll see how that goes. All right. Please stand by while players switch teams, switch servers. And we're going to move from an EU server where youdeadno is stationed to a US server where Pluto is stationed. Feel free to say hello in the chat. And let me know that you're here. Oh, by the way, speaking of the chat, I was just informed that I am now a Twitch affiliate. So that's very exciting and 100% due to me streaming these matches in this tournament. I'm getting youdeadno's invite again. This is interesting. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm getting... Pluto wants to redo that one. And youdeadno is saying no. They're discussing it right now on Discord. Well, they will come up to a... got it. They are redoing this round. All right. Sounds good. So what you just saw is considered a preview. That is not the way this game is meant to be done. So we are going to redo round number 1. Hello, Pig in chat. Because it's just totally unfair for one player to have a 20-something ping and the next player to have a 250-something ping. All right, players are back in their respective teams. We are going to round number 1 again and hoping we get some better pings. Every time they connect to an arena, we get a different server and the pings might be improved. So right now we got Pluto with a 145 ping versus youdeadno with a 32. So that's a little more manageable.
3.
Let's see if I can give you as good of a play-by-play as I gave you before. We've got youdeadno on red as Nitro and Pluto on blue as Titan. Looks like Pluto is able to hit the ball this time. Part of playing this game is being able to see the ball and have your jets make contact with it. That's how this works. There's this other game that people like to compare Ultimechs to, where you're driving cars and smashing into the ball to try and score points, but this is different. In Ultimechs, you are piloting the big mech, and you're shooting off your jet-powered fists at the ball. Now, the mechs only move on those circular pads on the floor of the arena, but the fists, they can go 360 degrees anywhere, from wall to wall, floor to ceiling, front to back, and they basically don't stop. You don't just send them off in one direction. You've got full control of their movement. That's the second point for youdeadno.
3.
And that's what makes this game exciting. While movement of your mech is limited, movement of your fists is not. And since you have two fists most of the time, that puts a lot of ability to move the ball and hit it against those bank shots, hit it against your opponent, hit it up in the air. You can also use two fists at once for extra power. And if you pick up the golden sphere off the ground, that is a supercharge that makes each mech have a special ability at the cost of one of their fists for roughly 7 seconds. Titan can put up a hologram wall, Nitro can explode their fist, and Viper gets a sniper-like shot that makes the ball move in a singular direction extremely fast, or it can be used to take down their opponent's armor. And look at this, while I've been talking, the players are now doing quite well against each other. It is 2v2, almost at the 2-minute and 22-second mark. I love that all ties it together. But we're going to be hitting the halfway point in a second. And there we are, 2v2 at 2:22. Pluto and youdeadno duking it out. Nitro versus Viper. Both extremely capable mechs. youdeadno charged because I can see at the top of the screen the gaunt jets are golden. So youdeadno can use that explosive capability. We've just hit the halfway mark of this round, and Pluto has a slight edge, 3v2. 2 minutes spent, 2 minutes to go. Quick little look at the pings here. Stable with 32 for youdeadno and 145 for Pluto. Pluto is used to playing with a slightly higher ping and a bad internet connection, so this will be somewhat typical. There is a supercharge on the arena floor. Neither player has seen it yet. Right behind Pluto. Pluto does not need it. Scores another 2-pointer. 3-point lead with 91 seconds left in this redo of the first round. And I'll stop mentioning there was a previous bad first round. I would like to once again shout out huge thanks to XRL. There's a point for youdeadno. Shout out to XRL for sponsoring this season of 1v1 tournament. They've given us a lot of tools on their website and Discord channel to support all of the scheduling and matches and communication. It's been a lot of fun. Also a shout out to Jamie Chapman, who started this off with a simple request, hey, can we get another tournament going? And then Resolution Games, who makes Ultimechs, said, well, sure, find someone to host it and we'll sponsor as well. So thanks to Resolution Games, maker of Ultimechs for the last 2.5 years. Look at that. The score has gone 5-5, less than a minute left in the... Of course, youdeadno makes me eat my words. 7-5 with 49 seconds left. What? A 2-point difference? That's just one shot into a super goal. No biggie. Oh, now a 2-point difference. That's a little bit trickier. So, with everyone coming together, including the entire community, coming back, signing up, having community events on our Discord channel, getting together on Wednesday and Saturday for solo queue 2v2. Thanks to Randy Vector for organizing that. Thanks to all the regular players that run customs several nights a week. Thanks to all the players from America and EU and other countries that tolerate high pings and are still very good sports person-like attitudes about that. 16 seconds left. youdeadno's got this round clinched. Pluto would need a miracle of 2 2-pointers in a row, or 3 more 1-pointers. 12 seconds.
3, 2.
It could happen. When the timer hits 0, this round doesn't end. The ball turns green, and the timer shows 0, but the ball stays active until it hits the ground.
3,
5-point difference. Pluto's not coming back. Not this round.
2, 1.
There's the green ball. Still alive. The timer keeps ticking up now until the ball hits ground. And there's our splashdown. 11-6 final score for this round 1. And I am posting that score, which you will then be able to see in future rounds. All right, players are going to switch hosts, and I will have to get pulled back into the arena to stream round number 2. If you didn't hear my excitement from earlier, if you're a little bit late to show up, we have 15 viewers on right now, which I think is fantastic. And Twitch decided to make me an affiliate, so I'm really excited to see what kind of extra benefits that brings me. And you, since I plan to continue streaming on these games and possibly some others. Hope you're enjoying the title screens and the animations that I've put together for you, and you'll see an ongoing scoreboard as we get into future rounds. All right, the new arena has been set up. Players are on their respective same colored teams. Round 2, title placard has moved to the bottom left corner, and previous round scores showing to you in the scoreboard along the bottom.
3, 2, 1. Go.
Take a quick look at the pings here. Don't want you to miss anything though. So Pluto with 58, youdeadno with 174. Somewhat reasonable for the geographical distance between these players. So Pluto, right now, well, Pluto was playing defense. Pluto picked up the supercharge. We're going to see that hyper strike get used. Once he lines up a shot against the wall or against the goal. Oh, Pluto came in as Nitro. No hyper strike for Nitros. Pluto is playing Titan. We've got Titan on Titan, which means Pluto has the same exploding fist. There's Pluto with the supercharge again. There's the Mega Blast. It explodes, sends a shockwave, pushing the ball, hopefully forward into a goal, but sometimes just away from your own goal. If your opponent is close enough, it damages your opponent's armor. But every time you use a super ability, you are down a fist by 7 seconds. There was his third attempt of using that Mega Blast and third failure to propel the ball. One thing we haven't seen too much of, I saw a few but didn't call them out in the first round, is something we call the pinch. We've got a player named Morrison. There's Pluto for point number 1. We've got a player named Morrison who plays primarily as Titan. And Morrison was watching some of the title animations of this game and noticed that mechs can use both their fists at the same time to hit the ball. and it supposedly would give it extra power. But Morrison started playing with where on the ball to hit to optimize that extra power. And he came up with kind of a crab pinching, hugging motion of not putting both fists directly behind, but if the ball was a clock, putting them at like 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock, or maybe 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And technically, what's happening is one fist is pushing the ball, the next one is touching it immediately thereafter, and both of those touches accelerate the ball very quickly. So we call that the pinch. It's an excellent maneuver to learn, tricky to get going. There, Pluto just did it. It was kind of tight, he didn't see it very much. But the ball moved away from him very quickly. Here he missed his pinch because you saw both fists go up into the air. In case you're not seeing the scores, I mean, why wouldn't you be? Unless you're driving and listening to this stream. Pluto is up 4-0, and there's 97 seconds left in this second round. So Pluto does not have the huge score differential that youdeadno had in the first round, but he's in the lead, and he's charged again. 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. youdeadno scores his first point. Pluto with an angry Mega Blast to punctuate his disappointment. The ball is just moving back and forth between these two expert players. Pluto scores a 5th point. Did I mention that this match, hello Noah, this match is for first and second place in the tournament. Both these players will win cash prizes, regardless of who wins and loses. It's just a matter of how big the prize is going to be. youdeadno coming up quickly and fiercely from behind. The score is now 5-3. youdeadno has a spectacular off the ceiling and then shoved into the super goal score there. 5-4. youdeadno scores again. youdeadno only 1 point behind. Pluto's going to have to fight to maintain that lead. So far, for rounds 1 and 2, you've seen me position the camera basically up on one wall, and it just sort of pans back and forth as it watches the movement of the ball. As we get into round 3, we're going to spend some time inside the helmets of these players to see exactly what they're seeing, except in 2D and not in VR. But we're going to see how they react to the ball's position, how they move their own mech around the arena, how they make decisions about shooting, how they basically pull off the magic they do. Remember, even when the timer goes 0, green ball, game's not over yet till it hits the ground. It could go anywhere at this point. A 1-pointer can tie it up for youdeadno, a 2-pointer can win it. Pluto's best interest to slam the ball down. 5-4. Pluto gives him a win for round number 2. And that goes into the scoreboard. And then I bring you back into the waiting screen. Players are going to be changing their hosts every round, so there will be just a little bit of time here while we wait for that to happen. First round was youdeadno. This second round was Pluto. Third round, we're going back to youdeadno. Hello, Cam. Welcome. Hello, Shays. Thanks for showing up to my new affiliate level Twitch channel. I wish I could tell you what that meant. I don't know. I was just invited this afternoon, so I haven't read up on what that all does. Okay, players have created an arena. Players are on their teams. They've decided to keep the same colors. That's nice for us. So we'll have Pluto on blue and youdeadno on red. Dead rhymes with red. Here we are, round number 3, and you can see the previous round scores at the bottom of the screen. Let's go into youdeadno's cam. We are in a nitro helmet. This is how youdeadno plays the game when he's hosting. Now, the trick being, I am not in the same region as youdeadno, and so my connection to this arena is going to be choppy. How choppy, you ask? Well, about as choppy as Pluto's, which means 130 ping, which is not that bad. So watch how youdeadno positions his mech in between the ball and his goal, except when he's on the offensive, and he's positioned mostly in the center of his opponent's goal. Notice how he's using the walls and the turning ability of his fists, and he backs up out of the way, and the ball starts heading toward his goal zone. Pluto ahead by 2 with 45 seconds on the clock used up. It's a 4-minute round, competitive, small arena. If you're unfamiliar with this game, you can play it 1v1, human versus human. You can play it humans versus bots. You can play 2v2, you can play 3v3. Humans on one side, bots on the other, or 3v3, 6 humans all together, or any combination of humans and bots from 1v1 up to 3v3. And there's a score from youdeadno's helmet cam.
3, 2, 1.
What youdeadno did just there is called feathering the ball, pushing it forward, not pulling the VR controller's trigger all the way. The ball moves slowly and sort of hovers in the air, and then you can be at the tip-off point a little bit quicker than your opponent, if you can guess which of the 3 tip-off points the ball might be coming up from. If you squeeze the trigger fully, then your jet moves at its full maximum speed. Wiggle your wrists around to control how your jet moves, and where you hit the ball and with what speed determines how fast the ball is going to go and how much spin it's going to have. Did you see that? That was an excellent example. Up in the air, he gave the ball a spin. All right, we've spent almost 2 minutes inside of youdeadno's helmet. When we count down to the 2-minute mark exactly, we're going to switch over to Pluto's helmet. Pluto currently has a score of 4, youdeadno a score of 2. This is round number 3. Pluto is playing Viper this round. youdeadno's fists are orange. Every time he touches the ball turns orange, technically red. All right, let's switch cams. Pluto is the blue player. Every time his fists go out, they're blue. Every time he touches the ball, it turns blue. You can see who touched a ball last by what color it is. We are inside a top player's helmet in a Viper mech. The Viper jets move faster than Nitro or Titan, but they're also smaller, so they're harder to hit on target. I like to equate them to trying to hit the ball with a wet noodle. Whereas Titan fists are almost the size of the ball itself. It's nearly impossible to miss. They move much slower and hit much harder. The score is 4-3. Pluto in the lead by 1 point. Pluto is currently charged up. That giant yellow symbol at the top of the screen shows there's a hyper strike. There we saw, from an operator's point of view, how to line up that hyper strike and score another 1-pointer. 5-3 with 1 minute on the clock. Pluto is playing against the ping, still in the lead so far, although that lead is closing up.
3, 2,
5-4. 51 seconds on the clock. you haven't played VR games before, you're probably wondering, are these players standing? Are they sitting? Well, I can tell you that Pluto likes to play this game laying down in a bed or on a couch. Literally with his feet up and his head reclined. I don't know if youdeadno plays standing or sitting. I play standing. I know a lot of players that play seated in a swivel chair. And here's what happens when you're only away by 1 point. We went 5-4, Pluto in the lead, to 5-6, Pluto trailing behind. How did that happen? youdeadno scored a 2-pointer.
8, 7, 6.
Let's go back to the wall cam. See the final few seconds of this round. youdeadno smashes the ball down. 6-5 is the score for round 3. youdeadno in the lead. Bring you back out to the title card and wait for round 4's arena to set up. Thank you, 20 viewers, for being here live in real time today. If CB were in this game and saw the ball getting smashed down while still green, she'd yell out something like, "Convenient." There are no real rules regarding smashing down the green ball. Then again, something we haven't seen happen yet in these rounds, but also not against the rules, players attacking other players, either by punching them or by using their ultimate abilities. You can wither a player's armor down, which causes them to explode, leave debris on the field, and gives you 7 seconds to score a 1 or 2-pointer goal. It can be a tactical advantage if you can spare the fists to do it. Welcome to round 4.
3, 2.
Previous round scores at the bottom of your screen. Hope you enjoyed the helmet cam from last round. I'm not a huge fan of it myself. I find it a little bit dizzying. This is a much better view if we're going to watch Pluto score 2-pointers. We've got Pluto with 55 ping versus youdeadno with 140 ping. I can also chase the ball around the arena, show you other views. There's a goal view. We got Pluto with the hyper strike. That was a total waste of a hyper strike. Looks like he shot the wall. Didn't even touch the ball. I want you to focus on a couple things during this round. Watch these streams, the tails that come off of each player's jets, so you can see that they are not shooting their jets straight from their arms into the ball. They are making the ball twist and turn and bend and move in all kinds of interesting maneuvers, and sometimes juggling it against their own fists or against walls and ceilings. But also, look at the smoke trail of the ball itself. You can see that it changes speed, it changes direction, it changes amount of spin, and all of those things come into play in maneuvering the ball to do shots like youdeadno just did.
3, 2, 1.
We are at 2-2, with 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Tied game so far. In the grand scheme of things, youdeadno has 3 rounds won to Pluto's singular round 1. And one of these players needs 4 rounds won in order to claim the title. 2-3 at 2-2-3. positioning of your mech is critical in this game. I mentioned earlier how youdeadno positions himself between the ball and his goal for defensive purposes. But look at that. He was up forward. Pluto shot the ball into the ceiling. It banked off the ceiling behind youdeadno into the goal. So a sneaky shot there. But with regards to player positioning, the closer your mech is to the ball, the less time it takes for your fists to hit the ball, which means it takes less time for your fists to come back after hitting the ball, which means you can get more shots off in a second than if you're far away. You're going to see these players constantly repositioning their mechs to be as close to the ball as they can be, while still having an escape route back toward their goal for defense. Pluto with another missed Hyper Strike. That is unusual for Pluto, and because it took away one of his arms, it gave youdeadno the opportunity to score a two-pointer. We are at 4-4 with 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock. Tight game, but Pluto needs this win. There's 1 point closer.
3, 2, 1, go.
3 minutes spent so far in this round. 1 minute timer left. There was a gorgeous view of a pinch from Pluto. There's another pinch. That pinch went right past youdeadno's arm. Youdeadno, I promise you, had an arm up to stop that ball, but one wasn't enough. It just smoothed right by it. Pluto with a 2-point lead at 50 seconds, but 2 points is not enough. That's just a single super goal for your opponent. youdeadno obviously eyeing that super goal. Both players looking for that that supercharge on the arena floor. youdeadno picks it up, uses it defensively. Now youdeadno's down an arm. Pluto can easily score a 1 or 2 pointer. He's trying for the 2. He gets the 2. That's a risky move right there. Pluto knows that youdeadno's hand is going to regrow within 7 seconds. And if he's still fighting for that 2 when youdeadno gets him back, then he could have wasted an opportunity for a 1 point easy.
8, 7,
8-4, Pluto in the lead, 5 seconds on the clock. What's going to happen when the ball goes green this time? Are they going to fight for the points or slam it down? youdeadno's fighting for the points. He's bank shotting off the ceiling. He's pinching the ball multiple times. Pluto says, I'll play that game. And scores another 2-pointer at 20 seconds after the clock. 10-4. Pluto takes this game, this round. Putting that onto the scoreboard and bringing you back into the title screen. Very exciting. Both players now have 2 wins. One of these players needs 2 more wins. We have 3 more rounds max to play. "21 viewers. Thank you all for being here. Let's give a community shout out to XRL for hosting this tournament. Get more information about their league operations at xrl.pro. Not just Ultimechs, but many other games. They've got leagues, we've got finals brackets, we've got sponsorship opportunities, we've got casting and streaming opportunities. We've got all kinds of great things that XRL has produced and made available to us. They also have a Discord, which you can get to from their website. And speaking of Discord, you need to come and check out the Ultimechs community Discord. We get together on here all the time. There's always someone looking. Go to discord.gg/Ultimechs to meet members of the community, myself included, and Noah, and Cam, and Random, and everybody else, Jamie, who shows up and puts forth their best efforts. We get together and do community events and special games and special kinds of fun activities. Here we are, round 5.
3, 2.
We are lowest pings we've seen so far. Pluto's got a 125 ping on an EU server that youdeadno is hosting. That should allow Pluto to play more of his natural style. youdeadno still playing Nitro, Pluto playing Viper. These players have changed colors this time, just so you're not confused. youdeadno is now on blue team, and Pluto is on red team. So in case it wasn't clear from the first 4 rounds, they decided to mess with our brains. Certainly it's going to mess with mine. I am definitely going to miscall some shots. Both players are charged right now. We've got Mega Blast versus Hyper Strike. Unsure who is going to use theirs first. That seems like at the same time. But Pluto's Hyper Strike got it into the goal faster. Pluto's in the lead. 1 minute spent, 3 minutes remaining in this round. And here comes youdeadno, catching up quickly. Taking only 9 seconds to rescore that 1 point. I'm not positive. I may have seen youdeadno attempt to punch Pluto because of how far his fist extended beyond that center line at tip-up. He is. He's throwing punches. Look at the top of the screen. You can see Pluto's armor going down every time youdeadno's fist makes contact. This is both a distracting technique as well as a critically important moment. If youdeadno can get Pluto's armor down and explode him, he'll get 7 uninterrupted seconds to score a 2-pointer. Now, what can Pluto do to stop that from happening? Every time Pluto picks up a supercharge off the arena floor, he'll regain 10% of his armor. Pluto uses that Hyper Strike, misses. Current score is 3-1. youdeadno in the lead. We've already passed the halfway point. We're at 1 minute and 45 seconds. Pluto's armor is practically full right now. Comes back with a vengeance to score a single point. 3-2. youdeadno leading by 1 with 98 seconds on the clock. Pluto definitely taking punches again. Every time I see youdeadno's fists not going up into the air, I'm following them along the floor trying to punch Pluto. I don't think he's throwing enough punches quick enough to make a difference. It is distracting, but otherwise does not affect the mech's ability to move or shoot the ball. We are down to 1 minute on the clock. youdeadno just used a supercharge. So Pluto's got both fists versus youdeadno's 1. He can score another point. Nope, time is up. youdeadno's got his fists back. youdeadno also charged again. Oh, and misuses it. Pluto has an advantage. Pluto can take advantage and score that point. Got a few seconds left to do it. He's focused on the 2-pointer. And he missed the opportunity. Let's do a quick ping check. Yeah, 24 versus 124 is not that bad. 20 seconds left on the clock. youdeadno scores Another two-pointer with a 3-point lead. 5-2, 20 seconds remaining.
Go.
Down to the last 10 seconds.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Cannot score a three-pointer in this game, but Pluto does a great job of scoring a two-pointer at the 0 mark. This round is over. 5-4, youdeadno. And now we switch hosts yet again. I may as well post the scores here in the chat as well. Since I'm operating the scoreboard, there's extra steps involved for me today. But there are the full round scores so far, rounds 1 through 5. youdeadno's got 3 of them. If youdeadno gets this next round, that is the end of this match. Huge shout out to Jamie Chapman for reinvigorating the entire Ultimechs community and getting us paired up with XRL to make this entire realization come true. Hello also to CB. CB, you watching or are you just listening? Of course, Shays. If you're into music, Shays is doing a music thing, a DJ thing. I can't tell you much more about it than that. There's some kind of app called Mix, M-Y-X, that you can get. And follow Shay's DJ adventures. Here we are, round number 6. I didn't mean to do that.
2, 1. Go.
Quick check on the pings. youdeadno with 135, Pluto with 60-something. So Pluto's got the lower home ping going on here. Technically should be giving him an advantage of sorts. I believe that each player has won the round where they have been hosting.
3, 2, 1.
It's about as fair as we can expect this game to be. The netcode has to travel all the way around the world for players to interact with a fast-paced, sports-based, arena-based game like this. So you can only expect those packets of data to move as quickly as they move. Pluto with 2 points to youdeadno's 0. They went back to their original colors, mind you, so don't get confused. youdeadno on red, Pluto on blue. Pluto's charged up, he's got the Viper. That Hyper Strike is not going to happen because youdeadno slams a ball into the 2-pointer super goal. 2-2 at the 1 minute spent mark. 3 minutes left in this arena. And Pluto gives us a great over-the-shoulder view of a pinch. 2 fists hitting the ball moving forward at great speed. youdeadno coming back to even it up, 3-3.
3, 2, 1. Go.
I don't need all 17 of you to comment, but if one person could maybe tell me how the balance is between my voice and the in-game sounds, that would be good to know, since I've been tweaking them a little bit lately. I can't really listen to them myself. Are they good? One too loud or too soft? All right, I'll trust Cam. Cam says it's perfect. Good to know. I've written down all these values so I can repeat it. it was really tricky to make it happen. I will tell you that while streaming these tournament matches, I make sure that the spectator app is not catching any player voice, but it is technically possible for us to be listening into the player chatter. We can be hearing the players being excited or in agony or taunting each other while the game is going on. I am sparing you from all of that, but perhaps in the future... Oh, there's youdeadno throwing more punches at Pluto. Pluto is actually down to about 30% health. Look at that top bar. Pluto's blue bar is wearing thin, and youdeadno is doing this on purpose. Pluto needs to pick up a supercharge to heal quickly. But like I was saying, with the voice, we could be hearing these players talk. And there's youdeadno with a 2-pointer, tying up the score 5-5 with 82 seconds on the clock. I have a feeling we're going to see Pluto get... Ooh, Pluto's smoking now. He is one punch away from death. Oh, he just barely missed getting punched to death. youdeadno's trying. He can see the smoke, I'm sure of it. Oh, Pluto picks up a little bit of healing by grabbing that supercharge. The worst thing to happen is for youdeadno to go down during an overtime. If the timer goes down to 0 and the ball hits ground while the scores are still tied, then there is one last overtime round. And the next point determines the winner. And if Pluto gets destroyed then, there's just no hope. Because there's no 7 seconds to come back from. youdeadno will certainly score within those 7 seconds. Pluto needs that supercharge. Turn around, Pluto, pick it up. It's potentially more important than scoring the 1 point. Oh, youdeadno gets it. Pluto's gone. Pluto's destroyed.
10, 9.
And youdeadno goes for the easy 1-pointer. All right, Pluto comes back to full health and 9 seconds to score a point on his own home field. Otherwise, this tournament is over.
2, 1.
Green ball, still viable. Pluto needs that one. Pluto knocked it into his own goal. Did I see that right? Or was that youdeadno? I got lost. 8-5, youdeadno takes the round, takes the game. That is how this tournament ends. Congratulations to youdeadno for player number 1. Congratulations to Pluto for player number 2. This has been an absolutely great tournament. Thank you all for following and subscribing. Please don't forget to subscribe, and for watching this all. And come back and watch this recap with your friends for the next 7 days on Twitch. By the way, I might have longer than 7 days retention now. I'll have to see what that's all about. So it's been great, and I'm going to give you this little trailer to watch for a few seconds while I sign off. Have a fantastic day. Look forward to seeing you if we get a Season 2 tournament. Goodbye.